Hello, I'm Dr. Sarah Morris, and this is a quick introduction to English 102 Online. This video is meant to introduce you to some of the course basics, our textbooks, and our eCampus site. So you do need to order textbooks for this class. They can be ordered through the WVU bookstore, and these are what the covers of our two books look like. So our main textbook for the class is Joining Academic Conversations, and I want to be sure that you understand that our book is the 8th edition. There are previous editions of this book, but the 8th edition is the one that you want. It's got the chapters formatted in a correct way that won't make sense if you have the wrong textbook. So you want to make sure that you get the 8th edition, that's the 2017 edition of the English 102 Joining Academic Conversations. You also want to make sure that you have a copy of the WVU version, so the undergraduate writing at West Virginia University version of Andrea Lunsford's book, Easy Writer, and that's the 6th edition. Again, previous editions of this book won't make sense. They won't be formatted the same way, and they won't have the correct chapter. So you want to make sure that you have these editions of these two books. The other thing that I wanted to make sure that we talked about is our eCampus course website. So you can see that I have this in student preview mode because I want you to see what the site looks like for you. So if I log in in student preview mode to English 102 Online, this is what the start page looks like. And if you click the abbreviated syllabus and schedule in the left side taskbar, it'll take you to a PDF document of our abbreviated syllabus and schedule. And you can see that our two books are listed there, plus there are two online books that we'll be reading selections from. So the first one is Writing Spaces 1, and the second one is Writing Spaces 2. And if you click those links, it'll take you right to those online books. So you will be reading selections from these books. Make sure that you know how to access them through eCampus. In addition to our course textbooks, our abbreviated syllabus also contains a course description, the course goals, the description of general education foundations, some thoughts about learning online at WVU, and a reference here to a full version of the syllabus, which you can find under the Course Basics section of eCampus. You'll want to make sure that you review every material there. All of that information is really important to your success in this course. The last part of this abbreviated syllabus is a list of coursework, and it's organized week by week with due dates. So you can see that most of our work is due each Tuesday by 6 a.m. That means that you have to decide when you're going to do the work of the class, with the exception of peer response, which is usually due on the Saturday after you upload a draft to give you some time to read and give feedback to each other. All of your work is due on Tuesday mornings. So you'll want to make sure that you manage your time wisely, that you look through the modules as they populate in eCampus, and each week's work will appear by noon each Tuesday. So once you've done the work for one week, the work for the next week will appear. This schedule may change if I see that we need to spend some more time on something, but for now, this is our complete schedule with readings, due dates, and different topics each week. So you'll want to make sure that you look through this very closely. Missing work is something that will be really difficult for you to recover from. The other thing that you should know as you're working through our eCampus site is that lessons upload week by week. So unlike other maybe online classes that are primarily multiple choice, this online class takes you through a series of progressive lessons, and I want you to work on those lessons one at a time. So you'll start to see this section, the weekly lessons section of eCampus, populate as you go along, and you can see that week one's already there. Each week is organized into modules, and you can see that our first module, A, is logistics. Every module is set up the same way. You'll first have an overview and objectives page that tells you what to expect in that particular module. And then the second part is learning activities. The learning activities is where you're going to see the actual work for that week. So you can see that in the first module in week 1, in the learning activities, you have some instructions for reading, some instructions for reviewing. One of those instructions is to review this video, and then a discussion board post. To get to the discussion board, you'll click Discussion Board, and you can see that Discussion 1, which that first lesson has sent you to, is right here. So you'll click the discussion board, and you'll click Create Thread and answer the question. The other things that you need to know in terms of navigating the course are related to the journal and process log. The process log and journal is something that we'll be doing weekly, and you'll read more about that in the week 1 modules. But the process log is it's a space where you can keep your thoughts, that allows you to track your own progress, because part of the goals of English 102 are tracking your progress in the portfolio approach over time. You can see that there's a video here that explains the process log, and there's a template that I want you to be sure to download and fill in each week. And if you have questions, let me know, but there's an explanation of that here. The other thing that you should know is that there are 5 major projects in English 102. This is a class in research writing. So all of those projects are related to a research project that you'll do over the course of the semester. So there are 5 connected projects that lead you to research writing. You can see that the first one is already here. It's your annotated bibliography. And in this, in the projects section of our eCampus site, you'll see that there will be a place for you to upload. If you click here, you can upload your assignment. It has the due date. It has a place for you to attach a file, which is what I'll expect you to do. But also, it will have a guidelines and rubric description. You'll want to make sure that you click that description and read it carefully as you start to write your assignment. So that's some basics of how the course is set up and laid out. It's fairly easy to navigate, but of course, if you have questions, please ask. There's also a place in the discussion board for you to ask general course questions. And especially if those questions are ones that will benefit everyone, I think they'll be helpful, and I'll try to answer you as soon as possible. So again, as you go into the course, you'll want to click Weekly Lessons, Week 1, and just work your way through each of these modules following the directions. Just some general guidelines. You want to make sure that you read everything. You want to make sure that you do all of the work of the class, that you order the textbooks, and that you follow along as assignments and tasks upload. Okay, so that's a short overview. Please let me know if you need anything at all, and I'm looking forward to reading your writing this semester.